this placement may be the key not only to the actual potential of relations, your profiting from relations, your ability to strike acquaintances, partnerships, but also how you are able to keep the balance in the relationship and keep losses away. Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Today we will be talking about the placement of the Libra sign in the 12 houses in the Navamsa chart, in the D9 chart. We have been doing this entire series of planets in different houses in the Navamsa, planets in different signs in the Navamsa, number of things that we are covering about the Navamsa, the number of videos that you will find on the D9 on the Navamsa in Astro Assurance. I hardly feel there would be any channel on this platform which will have as many videos on the Navamsa on the D9 chart. So in that line we have also done a series of, we are in the middle of the series of how different signs in different houses in the Navamsa will throw out different potentials for us, different permutations and combinations for us. And so far we have already covered the Aries sign in different houses in the D9 chart, the Taurus sign, the Gemini sign, up till Virgo we have covered. So today I am going to talk about a very important sign, the sign of Libra in the 12 houses in the D9 chart in the Navamsa. Libra becomes very important in the Navamsa because the Navamsa is about partnerships, the Navamsa is about acquaintances, the Navamsa is about how your ability to strike a chord with a rapport with others will play out for you. What better sign than Libra to be able to give you the better potential for that, because Libra is the sign of partnerships, is the sign of potentials, is the sign of acquaintances, and even the sign of marital relationships, your conjugal relationships as well. So the Libra sign in the Navamsa, its placement in the Navamsa become very important. It gives strength to your ability to strike bond, a characteristic partnership, strong partnership. Personality is how you will be able to deal with different kinds of people, different personalities, different characters, and also how you will be able to gain from them and keep losses away, but also where the biggest troubles, the challenges may come from in your relationships. So let's jump in and see how the Libra sign in the 12 houses in the D9 chart will throw up different permutations, combinations, as well as profitable situations for us. Now when the Libra sign goes into the first house of the Navamsa in the D9 chart, so here it gives a lot of strength to your ability to form relations, acquaintances, partnerships. But here the zodiac is also telling you that the major goals in life, the major achievements for you in your life may come through your ability to form partnerships, from your ability to form acquaintances, from your ability to be able to strike a chord and a rapport with different kinds of people. So here the challenge is given to you, but the potential is also being given to you, that the better relationships you are able to make, the better partnerships you are able to develop, the better rapport you are able to strike with others, the better relations you have with others, the better results you may also be able to get. That in fact it can be the story of how your life turns out, which means that in major goals that you make, in major decision making that you have, the different choices that you have, relationships may be the core of how the decisions are made, the choices are made. For example, if you have the Aries sign in the Lagna in the D1 chart, in your D1 chart Libra Aries sign is the ascendant, then if your Libra sign is in the ascendant in your D9 chart, what it means, the greater potential is to go and be a go-getter, go get what you want, what material favors you want, results you want, because Aries sign is the sign of go-getting. However, because the Libra sign falls in the ascendant in the Navamsa, it means that while go-getting, while having the killer instinct, a number of times the final decision may be based on your emotions, your ability to look at relationships also. For example, you have a fight with maybe your sibling, just to give an example, God forbid that you have a fight with siblings over money or inheritance, but if at all there is some tug of war there, siblings want a certain piece of the property of your inheritance, or they want a greater say, or they want a specific plot of land or whatever. Yeah, you will find that you may start off initially saying that, okay, I also want to fight, I want that. But in the final say, you may be the one who gives into your relations, who gives into your emotion. You may say, what is the point of fighting with my siblings? What is the point of having tug over with my dad or my mother, or with my spouse or my children? So you may start off on this competitive energy, but in the end you may be the one who gives in, because Libra is also the sign of balance. However, the zodiac is saying, yes, the challenge is given to you, or the potential is given to you to form relationships. However, the potential is also given to you that ensure that there is better balance, which means that sometimes to strike a better balance, you may be giving slightly more than what is the expected from the other party or what the party deserves. Yet it is always good to be slightly more large-hearted and be more forgiving, or be more giving, because that in turn will help you establish and also attain your biggest goals, your largest goals in life, and to be able to eventually turn out most of your partnerships or acquaintances into more profitable avenues. May not be material profitable avenues or situations or results all the time, but definitely on an emotional level showing. Now, if the Libra sign goes into the second house in your D9 chart, in your Navamsa chart, this is the placement where the zodiac is saying that your earning potential, your potential to have a better livelihood will come through your ability to strike a partnership, a bond, a rapport, having good acquaintances with people who are connected in some way, directly or indirectly, to your potential to earn. So this may be connected to your work, to your business, or even sometimes to your family, especially for those people who have work connected with family indirectly or directly. Some people may also find that you walk in the footsteps of some people in the family, some mentor in the family, or somebody who is a hero for you or who you look up to them, and then you may follow in their footsteps to be able to then earn your livelihood. The zodiac is also giving you potential to earn through a family business, earn with a family member, or sometimes get in some way connected to some family enterprise also. However, this is also a placement where your family values, your principles will also be either a plus factor for you, or could also be a limiting factor for you in terms of your earning potential. However, still the zodiac expects you to be somebody who has ethical values, ethical conduct, and through that be able to establish relationships, formulate those strong rapport, strong partnerships at work, and then through that you may be able to earn. Even in partnerships or in business or in any work, even if you are in service, only when you strike a rapport with people at work, you will find that your ability to grow in the organization will be better. You will also be able to get the support of your team members, and through that grow and then enhance your earnings. So this is a potential given to you. But do see which is the sign in the D1 chart, which is in the second house, and connect that sign's ability to be able to then amalgamate the relations, connected to your earning, connected to your potential to be able to strike a better chord with people, and through that better livelihood, through that better material results, when the Libra sign gets into the second house in your D9 chart. Now, when the Libra sign goes into the third house of your Navamsa, of your D9 chart, here the zodiac is telling you that in terms of your effort, in terms of your self-enterprise, or your ability to be able to gain through your efforts without establishing relationships, without establishing a strong rapport, without your ability to be able to work with people, you may not be able to get as much gains, as much material gains from your effort, the fruit of your labor, as you desire or as you deserve. So this means that the better relations you are able to formulate in your vicinity, in your place of work, in your business, you may be able to get better results. And try and formulate those relations in the immediate vicinity, which means in your department or those departments which are interconnected in some way to the work connected to your department. Ensure that you establish good rapport, and the better interdepartmental rapport that you have, partnerships you will have, you will also be able to do better. This is also strong placement where on the social media you may be able to do very well when you establish a connect with your viewers, with your audience. So when you are in front of the social media in any way, say for example on Instagram, or you are in TikTok, or you are in this platform on YouTube, wherever you are, try and establish a strong bond, a strong connection with your viewers, with your acquaintances, or at work, wherever you are, and through that you will be able to influence people better, because the third house is the house of your ability to be able to market yourself, brand yourself, and to be able to establish through your influencing skills better results. What better can you do by drawing better material results than through your ability to form relations and bonds? So the zodiac is giving you that potential. However, do see which is the sign in the third house of the D1 chart which is amalgamating or combining with the results of the sign in the third house in the D9 chart. For example, if in your D1 chart in the third house you have the Leo sign, and now in the D9 chart in the third house you have the Libra sign, which means that you will also have to take the greater responsibility to establish connections in your communication ability and use your communication ability to establish the rapport. You should also take the leadership. You should be the person who initiates the communication, who initiates the attempt to establish a strong bond, to establish the rapport, and through that your efforts will get you better gains. Now if you have the Libra sign in the fourth house on your D9 chart, so here the zodiac is telling you that the potential is given to you, that the peace, the tranquility, the happiness in your life, in your domestic life, you will be able to do better through your ability to form acquaintances, bonds, strong relationship. So when in your attempt to have better peace, tranquility, happiness in your life, you are able to use the ability to form bonds, you will find that it is easier to not only be able to create the environment of peace and tranquility at home, but also to make assets. So firstly, Libra sign going into the fourth house also mean that you will be the one who the responsibility is given by the zodiac, that you keep the peace at home, you keep the balance at home. What is the symbol of the Libra sign? The weighing scale. So that is also the balance. So you should keep the balance, which means that many times in trying to keep the peace and tranquility at home, you may have to be a little more giving, you may have to be a little more forthcoming, you may have to be somebody who's more large-hearted also. So which means keep your emotional outbursts, needs in check, empathize more with others, form strong bonds with your parents, with your siblings, spouse. Obviously without spouse, you being on good terms with your spouse, the peace and tranquility at home cannot be established, and with your children as well. And you will find that through your ability to form acquaintances and rapport, you may also be able to get more material assets. For example, if you're buying a house and you have the salesperson who is showing you properties, so sometimes you may not know everything about the property, certain things may not be being told to you. There, when you establish a good strong bond with the salesperson, then the salesperson may also divulge a few things, hinting to you that where you should negotiate, where things may be good for you, what is not so good about the property, so that you are able to get a better deal, because you have put in the effort to be able to establish a strong bond with the person, not treating the acquaintance only as a professional thing, that this is a salesperson, I'm buying a house from him, so why should I put in the extra effort? But being more friendly, talking a little bit about the person's family, about the person's background, being more empathetic about how hard they work and how much respect you have for them, and then through that, when you establish that bond, the walls that they have put up, they may slowly let them go, and then they may be able to give you a better deal or more secrets. Same thing when you go to buy a car, the car salesman person may be also more forthcoming to you, give you tips, which car to buy, which car not to buy, whether to buy the car or not. When you show that you are empathetic towards how hard they work, so many people come and see the car and everybody doesn't buy, but you have actually come in to buy, but you want slight help from the salesperson to make a genuine decision for your family, because you're a family man. So when you strike a bond and you strike on the emotional chord with people, people may be more forthcoming when Libra sign goes into the fourth house in your D9 chart in the Navamsa. Now when the Libra sign goes into the fifth house in your Navamsa, in your D9 chart, now this is a very strong placement for the Libra sign. What the zodiac is telling you, that you can establish a relationship through your romantic liaison, which means a strong possibility that you may have a love marriage rather than an arranged marriage, which happens a lot in the Indian subcontinent. In an arranged marriage, for those people who don't know, the partners or the potential spouses, they meet through an arranged format, which means a friend introduces them or family introduces them. People, extended social network may introduce them. The girl and boy meet many times in the presence of the family, and then they slowly start to get to know each other better, and eventually they think that okay, we like each other, and then they get married. Rather than meeting somebody at work or on a travel or while studying, and then starting to like somebody, then falling in love, then eventually marry. So this is a potential given to you. However, the zodiac is also telling you that in your love relationships, you will have to establish the balance. You will have to be the person who has to be the first person, or the person who strikes a better rapport. You will have to work on the strong bond with the better half, so that, or the opposite partner, so that you have a good strong bond of love and affection in your forthcoming relationship, a formal relationship, which you may be able to establish later. Secondly, it is also giving you the ability that through your relations, you may also be able to do better in your speculative investments, which means sometimes we have these people who are the portfolio managers for you. If you're investing or you're going for SIPs, systematic investment plans, or whatever. So there, when you establish a strong bond or good friendship beyond the professional atmosphere or the professional relationship or the connection with your agent, then the agent may also be more forthcoming where you should invest, where you should not invest, what is better for you, what is not better for you, and the person may be more empathetic. If you are giving the decision to the other person to make your investments for you, then the person will be also more empathetic to your situation, to your family situation. So for example, you open up about your family, about your challenges, how through your hard work you have made your gains, and now this is all that you have, and you have you establish a good bond with the person, talk about his family, his challenges and all, then the person also develops a soft corner towards you, and so is more careful when making your investment in different portfolios, which safeguards your investments. Thirdly, this is also a placement where the change comes to you, because the 5th house is the 8th house to the 10th house. So when the change comes to you, 8th to the 10th means changes or transformation in your career, in your work. That may come through relations. So for example, if you're caught up in a tough spot in your current work, then reaching out to your connections, to your social network, to your professional network also may help you, because you have kept the connections. So many times the change may come to you because you have a strong bond. So for example, you have changed your organization, you have gone to a new organization, you're not doing so very well there, you're not too happy. You can call up your previous boss and say, boss, I'm not so happy here, if you allow me, I want to come back. If you had worked on your strong rapport with your previous boss, then you may find it easier to go back. The boss will make the provisions for you to come back to his organization or the previous organization, because you have put in the hard work. Many times you may not want to leave an organization because you are so happy there, you are contented there. The money may not be the largest or the biggest factor in keeping you happy. But if at all you have to make the change and you have to make a change back, the relationship will come in favor for you, will come hand in handy for you or handy for you. However, it may also be that when you want to get into a new organization, a larger brand, if you know people there, if you work on your relations and somebody from your organization has gone there, then you may contact them and say, you went to this larger brand, you're working in the large organization, I want to work for that organization, can you help me get into that organization? Can you help me through the different channels or the avenues so that I find it easier to make it there? So because of your relations, your ability to use your relationship, the change that you want may also come to you. So the zodiac is giving to you on a platter your ability to be able to make better gains through your romantic liaison, through your investment, through change in your career, because of having the balance and because of your ability to work on your bonds, work on your acquaintances when the Libra sign goes into the 5th house in your D9 chart. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 6th house in your D9 chart, the 6th house is a slightly tricky placement for your Libra sign. The reason being is that the Libra sign's natural placement is the 7th house, and the 6th house is the 12th house to the 7th house. So the Libra sign is not the most comfortable in the 6th house, which means that many times relations can be a challenge for you, can also be something which brings you turmoil. Sometimes it can also bring in competition to you, inimical forces for you, and sometimes in your relations you may find that there is always a tug of war with some relationship which is an important relationship for you. It could be a boss that every now and then you find, whichever organization you go, with your superiors, with your bosses, you get into a tug of war, or many times with your own team members who you're working with, or people who are working below you, who report into you, you find that you don't get along with somebody or the other, which cause of which you're always on the toes. This could also mean that your own relations, even your relation with the better half, with your romantic liaison, or even with your married partner, many times you may find that there is some tug of war, some personality challenge going on, give and take, or a battle of one-upmanship also, one person trying to exert better control or more control over the others, force the other person to make choices which they are comfortable with or they are more convenient with. So it may also be that the bonds are there, but people may also use the bonds for their own conveniences, for their own comfort. So many times there may be a challenge where you have to overcome all these challenges so that you are able to get more out of the relationship. So when you want more out of your relationship with your boss, you will have to work harder on your rapport with the boss. If you want to keep the challenges with your team members away, to be able to keep the competition away or even score over competition, you will have to work better on your relations. So many times this could also mean that if you have competition in your work, you want to grow over somebody else, you are also vying for a promotion, somebody who is a colleague is also vying for a promotion, but because of your ability to strike a better rapport with your boss, with your superiors, you have the edge overcoming competition because of your ability to form bonds, acquaintances, and better rapport. So this is a slightly tricky placement where on one hand the biggest challenges, the biggest competition, the biggest inimical forces working behind your back may also come through some of your own bonds, some of your own acquaintances, some of your own relations, but your ability to also score over competition, score over challenges, score over problems in your life may also come because relations stand by you, relations also give you strength. Sometimes you may be getting caught in one court case with one person with whom you thought you have a good rapport with, but now the challenges come, but there may be some other relation which stands by strongly with you, motivates you and gives you the courage to overcome that challenge. So this is the slightly tricky placement, but as long as you make the effort to keep the balance, to be slightly more giving in your relationship and being more okay with letting little more control to the other person, let them feel that they have more say over you, you will find that their life will be easier for you, the competition will be lesser, and in times of challenges or problems, the people who stand by you will be more. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 7th house of your D9 chart, this is one of the strongest placement for the Libra sign in your D9 chart, because here Libra sign is at its most comfortable, best, because the 7th house has the natural tendencies of the Libra sign. But here the zodiac is telling you that not only in your marital relations, not only in your conjugal relations, not only in your married life, but in generally in your life, you need to strike a better chord with anyone and everyone. So those people with whom you work with or get connected on a day-to-day basis, it is your job to be able to establish good bonds with them, good rapport with them, because if you are able to do that, then you will find that you will also be able to make better profits from them. They may also be your allies, they may also be a strong acquaintances, they may also be a strong partners in you being able to profit from that association. So here the work is cut out for you. Work on your acquaintances, work on your rapport, work on your relations with others, and you may be able to profit. This means that those people who you get connected on a day-to-day basis, from the security guard in your building who you see every day, to your driver, if you have a driver who takes you to work, or the colleagues immediately at work, or those people who in interdepartmental connections who you work regularly more often, on a day-to-day basis, who you need to connect with on a day-to-day basis, try and establish better bonds with them, then the better gains will also come for you. This is also a placement where you are given the responsibility of striking better partnerships, not only in business. This is one of the best placements, mind you, for partnerships as well. Not only partnering with your better half and through that making your domestic life rich, getting all the conveniences in, but also to be able to invest through a partnership in some work avenue where you may also be able to profit. This could be apart from your regular service or regular day-to-day job as well. But this is also placement where if you want to get into a partnership with people who are like-minded, who are friends, with whom you have a better rapport, then you will be able to do well. But if you just know somebody and you feel they are experts, they are good in your work, and then you start try and establish some partnership with them, and through some partnership you do business with them, but you don't have a good rapport with them, then you will find that you will always have to be more giving to be able to profit from that avenue, profit from that venture, profit from that bond that you have. So it's always better that work in partnership where you know the person, you have a good bond with the person, you know the person as a friend if possible. Then you will be able to profit better and be a little giving also in your relationship, because on the long term you will be able to get better results. Now also see which sign is there in your 7th house in your D1 chart, and then connect them and amalgamate the results together. For example, if in your D1 chart you have the sign of Gemini in your D1 chart in your 7th house, and now you have Libra sign in the 7th house on your D9 chart. So many times there may also be doubts in your mind whether this relationship is good for me, is this bond good for me, is this partnership good for me, and many times because of the doubts you have, you may unnecessarily spoil your relation. So always also see how your sign in the D1 chart in your 7th house is getting connected to a Libra sign in your 7th house, and then through that be able to establish a good bond with your partners, with the people at work who you get connected on a day-to-day basis, be more giving, have better balance, and then profit from it. May not be in the short term, but surely in the long term. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 8th house in your D9 chart, this is the zodiac telling you that you will have to go through some transformations in your relations before the relationships are sound, strong, established and long term. This also means that unless there is a transformation in your relationship, the longevity of the relationship will not be established, which means the first few relations may go through ups and downs, may go through a roller coaster ride and even break before the next ones become the ones which are more stable and which have more longevity. Because the 8th house also is the house of longevity, which means that through a transformation, a longevity in your relationship will come, which means the transformation either through the relationship itself changes, where you move away from one bond or one acquaintance, one partner, and you get into another one, and then because you have learned the tricks of the trade or you have learned your lessons, now you are more mature to handle the relationship, and because of which it becomes stable, or you have a change of mindset. Your relationship is going through some ups and downs, topsy-turvy, and then you feel that enough is enough. What is the point of unnecessarily fighting? I can be more giving, I can be the peacemaker. And because of the transformation in your thought process, then the longevity in the relationship also comes. So a transformation is surely the need of the hour, and only when the transformation happens, the long-term stability, the long-term longevity of the relationship, the partnership, the acquaintance also comes in. But this could also mean that establishing a partnership with people who are in those realms which are connected to the 8th house. For example, strong partnership in a business or connected to the department of taxation or audits or insurance or banking, or in the media, in the the creative media, for example movies, or the soaps that you find on TV, something creative, something imaginative, something virtual about the 8th house, and then establishing a bond there. Which means if you are in the media, if you are in the entertainment industry, and then through that in that industry without forming a strong bond, you may not be able to make gains. In the government department also, many times there may be a transformation, there may be a challenge, but without establishing a strong bond, you may not be able to overcome the challenges. This also means that initially when you try to establish a bond, there may be obstacles of the 8th house, and only when you work on your relationship, on that acquaintance, on the rapport over a period of time, then the relationship will be established. So you will have friends where you were not hitting off on a day one. You may have a partner who you didn't hit off on the day one. Slowly the relationship over a period of time matured and went through transformation, and then it became very strong. Became so strong that it can take the blows which the 8th house will throw up every now and then. So if you have Libra sign in the 8th house, be more understanding and be more giving, but also be more accepting that every relationship may not be the best relationship for you. Some relationships will go through ups and downs, some relationships will go through transformation. Allow the transformation while still trying to keep the relationship going, keep the bond going. So if you are more accepting, you will find that sooner than later, with your maturity, with your acceptance, but your ability to be more forgiving, to be more giving, trying to keep the balance, you will find that there will be more longevity in your relationship, and through that longevity over a period of time, more gains will also come in through you. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 9th house of your D9 chart, here the zodiac is telling you some of the best gains may come to you, some of the best results may come to you also, but many times this could also mean that you will have to move away from your comfort factor. Only when you move away from the comfort factor in what kind of relationships you want or what kind of relations you are comfortable with, and you are more flexible, then the gains come to you. This means you have to move away. 9th house is also the house of traveling to foreign lands or going some distance. So in your mindset, if you are not able to go the distance, you are not more liberal, you are not more accepting of the other person's values, of the other person's principles, of the other person's beliefs, then the relationship may not be as profitable for you. The ability to establish a relationship with others may not be as easy for you unless you are more accepting, you are more understanding, you are more empathetic towards the other person's ability or their need to stand by their own values, their own principles also. So when you are more flexible of other people's belief system, sometimes you may get a partner whose ethnicity, whose background is very different from yours, maybe even from different religion or different region. So your values may not always be on the same, on the even keel. So your ability to understand, to give the level playing field, to give the space for the other person's values and principles will help you establish stronger bonds. This is also a placement where you could meet your partner at some educational institute or through at some workshop, or through you traveling far away from your place of work or place of birth and then establishing the bond. This could also mean that you get connected with each other on the social media or on the phone, or you start off, maybe you meet somebody, you exchange numbers, and then your rapport develops over a period of time through the phone, through the WhatsApp chat or whatever, and then through that over a period of time you get closer and eventually the partnership comes by. So the relationship will have some degree of either the difference in value system, principles, or distance in terms of your upbringing, in your ethnicity from your region, or even physical distance between you and the person, and then you will have to work on that, bringing together the norms, the principles, the values, and then shorten the physical distance before you come together. This could also mean that a lot of your friends or friend circle comes from a variety of people across the world. Also many of them may be not from your city or your place of existence or where you are living. Many times those people who you get connected on a day-to-day basis is more on the phone because they are in other cities, or even if they are in your own city, you will find many times your ability to meet them or regularly on a day-to-day basis is curtailed. A lot of your connections happen on the phone or on WhatsApp or on the social media. So the rapport is getting connected through a long distance format or through communication or using the electronic media. Secondly, this is also a placement where you will have to move away from your place of birth then to find the real acquaintance, the real bond. So the bond happens when you move away from your place of birth or on a travel or going long distance also. This could also mean that your relations with people who you get connect connected to through your learning process. This could be in your college, in your school, but this could also be in the learning throughout life. You will find that there will be some relations which come to your rescue or come to helping you grow as a person. Whether it is your boss, whether it's your mentor, whether it's your teachers, whether some of these are your colleagues who help you to be able to mature more in your ability to learn, get the situation learning, and through experiential learning you become a better person, you become a better professional. So keep your eyes and mind open. Then you will find that those acquaintances, those relationships will make the best gains for you, because the 9th house is the strongest house of gains. Now do see which sign is in the 9th house of your D1 chart and then connect the energies together to be able to fathom what is the actual result that the Libra sign in the 9th house and the D9 chart is giving you. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 10th house in your D9 chart, in your Navamsa, this is the strong potential that the zodiac is telling you that if you want to really do very well in your work arena, in your career, you will have to work on your relationships, because the karma is cut out for you. The 10th house is also the strongest house of karma. The D9 chart is the finest dissemination of what your karma is, especially connected to your 10th house. So when the Libra sign goes there, the zodiac is telling you, zodiac's way of telling you that, see, your karma is to work on your relations, your bonds, your acquaintances, and through that you will also be able to do better work. Your better output at work is connected to your ability to establish strong bonds, strong partnerships, strong rapport with people. So firstly, you will have to work on the rapport with people who are superiors at work, people who are in authority figures at work, those people who are the strong decision makers at work, and your growth at work will be strongly getting connected to or be connected to your ability to strong bonds, strong ability to be able to create the rapport. But this also means that many times you will have to be more giving at work, which means only after putting in a lot of hard work over a period of time, then you are given the credit, then you get the appreciation from the higher ups, and then the growth comes to you, then the gains come to you, which means loyalty is the key here. If your superiors, if your team, if your managers don't see you as loyal, don't see you as committed, don't see you as somebody who's a very hardworking person, working more for the department, working more to keep the boss happy, to help the boss shine, the results, the gains may not come to you. So the zodiac's way of telling you, the karma is cut out for you, that you need to be more giving, you need to keep the balance. The symbol of the Libra sign is the balance, the weighing scale. So you need to keep the balance, you need to work on the relationship. However, you will find that many times you may be more giving, more doing in terms of what your role is, and then you get the fruits of your labor. Only when you work harder than expected, work beyond the real of what your pay packet is, beyond the role that you have been given, beyond the job description, and then over a period of time, sheer hard work, sheer long hours of work, sheer committed, loyal, disciplined work, showing your loyalty, then results come to you. But this is what your karma is. This is how you will also get the best results. But your longer stability is also promised to you, which means if you are somebody who always works on relations and you don't, unnecessarily rock the boat often, then you will find that you will remain stable in the position for long, and the growth may also come to you. Once the growth comes to you, you will also be more stable. The relationship will ensure that you will not be moved away from the gains that you have made or the growth that you have got. Better designations will also come to you through that. You may also find that maybe you get connected to your better half, or the person who then becomes your partner, your life partner, also through work or connected to work or some connection of work. You may meet the partner at work or through some acquaintances at work also. So there is always a chance that you, because of your ability to have better relations, better rapport at work, not only you make gains at work, in your professional arena you also grow, you also have better designation, but your ability to establish a strong domestic life, strong partnership may also come from your work arena. Do see which sign is there in your 10th house in your D1 chart, and then connect them to the Libra sign in the 10th house in the D9 chart. Say for example, in your D1 chart, you have a Libra sign itself in your 10th house, and now in your 10th house in your D9 chart also you have the Libra sign. So this is a very, very strong Vargottama placement, where the zodiac is telling you that, see, because of you establishing your relations, the best results will come to you, the best karma will come to you, the best stability will also come to you. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 11th house of your D9 chart, here the zodiac is giving you better potential, the higher probability that through your ability to strongly establish bonds, rapport, partnerships, you may be able to do very well with masses, moving beyond your work arena. With friends, you may be able to get better rapport or better results, better gains, more stable results over a period of time because you have established the strong bonds. But this also will start from being a lot more giving, which means if you are the person who people can reach out as your 4 a.m. friend more often than not, or the first 1 or 2 people they think of when they have to call somebody when they are in the spot of bother is you, then you will find that over a period of time these become your strongest bonds, these become the strongest pillars of strength, and through that you make gains. So somebody, because you help them, you became the 4 a.m. friend, you will find that when you need somebody to reciprocate, not always maybe you need to make a call at 4 a.m. but say for example you have a problem working in a large organization, which the 11th house also represents. There somebody who you have connected or who is a friend, who is a part of your social network, may be the one who helps you gain a better foothold in a large organization, get into a large organization, get into a large brand because of your rapport. Also, if you want to go in a large organization where many times we get lost, thousands and thousands of people working, many times we are not seen in the huge crowd. Your relations, your acquaintances may help you shine out in front of others because of your ability to form strong bonds, and your interdepartmental equations with others, your ability to form acquaintances across departments may also come to your benefit, also come to your strength. A lot of your work may get done because you have people or your network in different departments across the organization. So somebody who's in the sales department may also because of having strong connections in the marketing department or having strong connections in the design department, also be able to do better or get information before others and use that to the advantage. This is also a placement where your ability to be able to give back more to society may come through your ability to form strong bonds, strong acquaintances. So especially if you want to do something more for society, you want to give back, you have your heart and soul to wanting to work for a certain cause, then through your ability to form relations, acquaintances, bonds, rapport, you may be able to do more. And you may also find that you may also have friends connected to the same social cause. You hang out with friends who think alike. You may also meet your better half through that friendship that you are connected. So many times a friend may end up becoming a better friend or best friend or even your life partner later on. So many of your initial romantic liaisons may also come through friends or starting off as friends rather than like the love at first sight kinds of relations. So if you have Libra sign in the 11th house of in your D9 chart, the work is cut out for you. The better rapport you are able to create, the better bonds you are able to create, not only with your immediate work arena, on your relations or in your friends, but general society, the masses, the better gains will come to you over a period of time. This is the best placement to be able to grow the best or biggest or the quickest in a large organization working for a large cause when the Libra sign goes into the 11th house in your D9 chart. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 12th house of your D9 chart, this is a slightly tricky placement, which means this is the placement where the relationship will have to initially go through losses or giving up or doing more before stable relations come to you, and many times this may come very late. Now if the Libra sign is in the 12th house, the 12th house is the house of losses or giving up or to be estranged from or to be alone or to work in solitude. So when the Libra sign goes into the 12th house, many times even when you are in the relationship, you may find that there is maybe some disconnect. There may be a variation of your thought process. You may not be on the same values. You may not be always be in the best healthy mindset with your better half. You may always have this some tug of war which is going on, because of which you are not always very tight with each other. The bond is not so very strong. You don't miss each other so strongly that you just can't be without each other. In fact, you may be wanting the space from your partner from time to time, so that you also feel that you have better peace of mind. So only with the space every now and then even getting the solitude or being estranged may also be something which is welcome for you. This is also placements where sometimes even if you don't like, you have to be estranged from your love partner because of your work or because being too busy in work, or the first relationship, going through a loss or giving up the first relationship before the next relationship also comes. However, this is still a placement where the zodiac is telling you that in your relations, in your acquaintances, you will have to be the person who has the larger heart, who has to keep the better balance, which means maybe giving 70% of the time and getting maybe 25 to 30% of the time, or getting appreciated or getting the return favors also from your better half or from your partners or from your friends. So if Libra sign is in the 12th house, this is a slightly tricky placement, maybe the trickiest of the placements in the D9 chart, because this is a placement where you have to give up, you have to do more for others, and you also have to do it not with a very heavy heart, but knowing that this is your karma, because if you come to terms with that, then it is easier. But this doesn't mean that you always have to be giving. It also means that you make your choices of the relationship more carefully, so that you don't end up giving of everything. This is also placement where sometimes the first relation may take away almost everything from you, and then you have to start from scratch. I have also seen with this placement, not everyone, but in some cases where the person has not been intelligent enough, when the person has not been emotionally intelligent enough, where they have got into a relationship without thinking too much, rushed into a relationship, only ending up separating, divorcing, and almost everything being lost to the partner, and that ending up very badly, even with a lot of vitriolic negative baggage that being carried forward. So if you have Libra sign in the 12th house in the Navamsa, be very careful with whom you get into a relationship, because then you may be the person who keeps giving maybe a little more in the relationship without getting anything reciprocated, without getting any appreciation, and then you feeling hollow, you feeling at a loss, you feeling vitriolic, you not liking it, and then the relationship going in a south or not giving you the best of results. So if you have Libra sign in the 12th house, be more giving. Also know that this life of your karma is to give for others, not only in your relationship with your better half, but also to the general society. This is one of the better placements to get the best karma while giving. So if you are establishing a strong bond with like-minded people, wanting to do more for society, wanting to do better karma, so that later on the chances of salvation or moksha, or it's also given to you, get more brownie points there, so be it. But surely be more careful of who you get into a bond with, whom you get into a relationship with. This is also placement where you may find your love in across the seas or in foreign lands, or after getting married you go to foreign lands and then you settle there. So you move away from your place of work or place of birth, go to foreign lands with your better half, or immediately after getting married, or find your love interest in a foreign land, estranged from your place of birth also. But even then you will have to be slightly more giving in your relations, so that over a period of time, over your karma, you get both the gains of the worldly materialistic gains also, but also the gains of your karma as well. So friends, now that we have discussed how in the 12 houses in the D9 chart, the Libra signs presence will throw up different permutations and combinations for you. I have also told you that please do see in which house that particular Libra sign is falling in the D1 chart, or in that house in your D9 chart where the Libra sign falls, which is the sign in the D1 chart in the same house, and then be able to amalgamate the results or the signs energies together to be able to understand what it actually means, and look at whether there are any doshas or any yogas or any aspects, any conjunctions which are being formed in the Libra sign in that particular house in the D9 chart, to be able to understand the placement better. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me. The link is given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.